Odds are everyone knows someone with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Although the diagnosis of ADHD has benefited some children, there is still much controversy over the diagnosis process, over medication, and the label that's been placed on children. The topic of ADHD is important to most people because it affects their surrounding friends and family. When a few of my close family members were diagnosed with ADHD, I chose to do some research on this topic in order to better understand it for my family members and myself. Today, I will let you know first about the controversy over the diagnosis process, second about the over-medication of ADHD, and third about the label placed on children. I will begin by telling you the controversy over the diagnosis process of ADHD. There are many issues with ADHD because the diagnosis process is so vague. According to the mental health article, there are many signs and symptoms that relate to ADHD. Many signs include poor attention, being easily distracted, and even being hyperactive. Attention deficit hyperactive disorder has inflated as society has moved further away from physical activity. The diagnosis process is so general it has called the diagnosis to almost double. In their November 2007 mental health article entitled Controversy Surrounding ADHD, authors Margaret Austin, Natalie Statz-Reese, and Lauren Bergdorf state attention deficit hyperactivity disorder diagnosis is indistinct by diagnostic errors and difficulty with assessing symptoms. The argument over appropriate ADHD diagnosis will long carry on. In their article entitled Symptoms as an Excuse, Julie Sir and Christina Wee explain that ADHD signs and symptoms have mostly been seen in educational environments with self-handicapped children. Recent study has shown children made higher number of errors when they believed it was an intelligent test rather than a video game. These children have self-handicapped themselves by making excuses to incorporate their ADHD as an illness distinctiveness in the classroom. Next, let's take a look at the over-medication of ADHD. Another issue with ADHD is due to the vague diagnosis process causing children to be over-medicated. Statistics have shown that children are overprescribed medication for self-symptoms. According to the article New CDC Data on ADHD, doctors have questioned drug abuse and over-medication because statistics have begun to show ratings of severity were not significantly different with children on medication than those that were not in follow-ups. The new CDC article also stated that many side effects have been noticed with children on medication. The medication does not address the cause, so therefore it creates toxic assaults on the children's body. There are different ways to treat ADHD other than medications. In Jane Shepard's 2012 article titled ADHD, What's Happening to Our Children, she specified that medications do not help learning abilities. They only calm children. She also noted that the health in your child's wellness means much more than having a child who can remain quiet long enough so that adults in his or her life can get something done. In Sarah Lesser's article, ADHD in Education, she gave examples such as dieting, parenting, TV, and schooling to help ADHD symptoms improve. Finally, we'll discuss the label placed on children with ADHD. ADHD is a label given to children that possesses traits out of normality. Research has shown ADHD began in a label and not a true disorder. In Jane Shepard's 2012 article titled ADHD, What's Happening to Our Children, she stated that after 25 years of research, ADHD is not a proven medical disorder. Fred A. Bogman Jr., medical doctor, states with absolute certainty ADHD is not a disorder. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder will continue to remain a state of science and not a disorder. Teachers and doctors tend to label children most often with ADHD to describe their traits. In Sarah Lesser's article, ADHD in Education, she stated that many teachers tend to label children that display learning and attention difficulties with ADHD. Many teachers want children on medication to keep them focused and to prevent the child from disrupting the class. In conclusion, although the diagnosis of ADHD has benefited some children, there is still much controversy over the diagnosis process, over-medication, and the label placed on children. You now know how ADHD is overdiagnosed, how it's been seen to be over-medicated, and how many children have received labels. In the future, the diagnosis and over-medication of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder will be a huge disservice to those children that possess the traits of ADHD.